There's so much energy and so much attitude on this album. I mean, I love listening to it. I just think it was some of their best work. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Red Mug Music. I am Brian as usual, and today we're going to continue with the album ranking series with album number 5. Number 5 for Unlawful Carnal Knowledge. Sammy Hagar is back in the countdown. I'll just go ahead and get into the album. Now, you may think this album is high. I thought this album was high. Before I even started through all the Van Halen albums, I had no idea it would be this high. Actually, I thought this would be in the bottom 3 or bottom 4. But it's a really good album, and I think maybe it's underrated. I know whenever it came out, it was pounded pretty bad, with the negative reviews. I mean, just nobody seemed to like it. But the thing about it is, after 5150 OU812, this one was a lot different. And when I do my reviews, I'm not comparing album to album because it's all Van Halen. Well, I know there's been 3 different lead singers, but for the most part, it's Van Halen. So I go through each song and I'm looking at the album, like I always say, the sequencing and the mood and the feel and the flow and the songs and the talent. And I mean, we already know they're an extremely talented band, but I'm paying attention to the actual songs. So when I listen to this album, I didn't listen to this album and say, well, it's, it compares to 5150 like so, or it compares to OU812 like so, or it compares to 1984 like so. I did not do that. I just look at it all by itself. And that's what I did. And that's why it ranks as high as it is. It's number 5. I'm shocked. You may be shocked. I'm not sure. You see my dog? So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and get into it. And I'm going to talk about each song, and I'm going to tell you how it ended up being high in my ranking. Actually, I had so much to say about it. I actually made notes here, so if I read my notes, don't get upset with me. This is my thoughts. These are my notes. It's just a lot. There was a lot of opinion that I had on this album. The first song is Poundcake. Poundcake is probably one of the best beginning songs so far that I've been able to review. This is such an energetic song. It's got so much energy and so much excitement, and it's so heavy and has such a thick sound. Even Eddie Van Halen was experimental with the drill and the harmonics that he used during the verses. I don't know if you've noticed that. If not, go back and listen to it. It's just like, who would have thought that in a song where it sounds like every person in the band is literally trying to rock your socks off, that he's just doing these harmonics during a verse. It's mind-blowing. And the lead up to the chorus is perfect, as well as every part of the song. This is just a really, really super good song. All right, next we have Judgment Day. Now, Judgment Day, the energy is continuing here from the first song with Judgment Day. And you can hear Michael Anthony. He's playing the 16th notes on his bass, as one does. And it seems like it's really super simple, but it's given this song so much muscle. And then the full measure quarter note explosion that Eddie Van Halen, his whammy bar effects leading up to the meat of the song, that bum, 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 bum. Oh, God. It's just, it gets me excited. Like, after hearing Poundcake and then listening to Judgment Day, this is the best 1-2 punch I've heard. I mean, so far. I'm not saying this is the best album. It's not, because it's ranked number 5. But out of the ones I've already talked about, this is the one that's got the first 2 songs on it that gets me excited and ready to hear the rest of the album. And that's how an album should be. Okay, the next song, track number 3, is called Spanked. Now, Spanked is kind of a change of pace, but it's still a heavy song. I'm not the biggest fan of the lyrics, and I think he could have come up with lyrics that was a little bit less cringy. I don't usually listen to the lyrics, but in the song, it's just so out there you can't help it. So this is not really one of my favorite songs, but it's not bad. I think if he would have changed the lyrics, it would have been much better. So Spanked, number 3. Now 4 is Runaround. Everybody's heard this when they released a song. It's got a great guitar sound in the beginning leading up to another high energy effort with a simple but great chorus. And then Eddie Van Halen's solo is exceptional. It's really, really good. And the breakdown at 2 minutes and 50 seconds gives it so much attitude. And then it leads up to another explosion at 3 minutes and 19 seconds. That's what I think makes this song great. Runaround is a great asset to this album, and I really like the song. I mean, it was a radio hit and it was radio friendly, but when you just listen to it like in a vacuum, it's great. It's a good song. All right, the next song is Pleasure Dome. Now, the intro to this B-side is actually perfect. I like it a lot. You have Eddie Van Halen with this simple, relaxed strumming. And then it kind of sounds like it's going to be one of his instrumentals. And then it leads into this chaotic sound, and the drums I'm not very sure about either. And then the talking verse isn't my favorite either. But then that leads into the chorus, or that leads into like the singing, not the chorus yet, but the singing verse, which things start to get better. It starts to sound much, much better. But then it gets into the chorus and it goes sour again. And after that, it's just like rinse and repeat. It's just the same thing over and over again until you get to the solo, which is exceptional. But the problem is everybody's already skipped to the next track and they didn't hear it. So this is a skippable track. There was so much potential in Pleasure Dome, but it got wasted because of all the whatever that is, just the chaos. Pleasure Dome is not a really good song, and maybe that's why it became a B-side. Now, this is a really good addition to the album. It's In and Out. In and Out sounds to me kind of like a filler, but a really good filler. Not crazy about the title and how the title sounds in the chorus, but for the most part, it's just a really, really good song, and I think it's a good part of the album. Not too much to say about it. Just a good track. Then after that is Men on a Mission. Now, Men on a Mission is another B-side filler that I like it. I like the song, but by now I kind of wish that they would have changed it up a little bit. I wish we would have had a little bit more of a change of pace type song, like a ballad or just something different. It's not bad, but I'm kind of tiring with all the high energy, which is a good problem to have. I mean, there's so much energy on this album and so many really good tracks, but I just really feel at this point they could have used something else. And then after that is The Dream Is Over. Now, maybe that's kind of what I'm talking about, a change of pace. It's not really, but the chorus kind of gives you a change of pace kind of chorus, which is good. The Dream Is Over is a really good song. It got a great sound, a great composition. I like the whole entire song. I think it's a really nice addition. Maybe they should have put The Dream Is Over up above Man on a Mission. Maybe that would have been a better choice to kind of flip those two to give you a little bit of a change of pace. And again, it's not really that much of a change, but maybe that's what I was looking for. And then the song after that is Right Now. Now, Right Now may be the biggest radio-friendly song on the album. In its overall composition, the song sounds the most out of place to me. Like, I like the song, but when it plays, you're like, that's completely different from the rest of the album. But this music dates back before Jump was written. And what happened is, Right Now was Eddie Van Halen had already written the music, but I guess the way it sounded, nobody wanted anything to do with it. So he's playing the song on a piano right now, Eddie Van Halen is, and then in the other room he had Sammy Hagar. He was writing the lyrics to the song and didn't even know it. And he heard, this is how the story goes, he heard Eddie Van Halen playing the song, And he gets up and he walks into the other room and he starts singing with the music. And Right Now was born. That's how that. So of course, maybe Right Now had a little bit too much of a pop feel to it, and this is a perfect time to go ahead and try to make it work, because Sammy Hagar had a little bit more of a pop sound to him. Songs like this were able to come out, but again, like I said, it sounded a little bit out of place. So maybe it wasn't the right time, but it's a good song nonetheless. 316 is the 10th track on the album, and this is an instrumental, and every one of you have heard it. I always forget the name of it, and when I see 316 written down, I'm like, what is that? And I'm like, oh yeah. He plays this in concert. It's just a little instrumental bit. Usually when he does a solo in concert. He does Eruption and 316 and all the other ones. They kind of mix them in together. I'll link it down below. I'll try to find it on YouTube and link it so you can listen to it, because it's a pretty amazing solo. But that's the next track on the album. The 11th track is Top of the World. Now, Top of the World, another radio-friendly track. Everybody's probably heard this a million times, just like Right Now. Because we've heard it so many times, we forget how hard and heavy this song is, and how it's such a great addition to the album. It actually sounds like it should be on this album, and I love that. I mean, it's got a really nice singable chorus. It's got a memorable bridge. If you listen to the bridge, it's really nice. And I don't know if you've noticed this, but the riff in Top of the World is the same one in Jump. Listen to the song and then listen to Jump, and tell me if you don't hear that same riff in both songs. It's a continuation, or they did that on purpose. So some of you old, David Lee Roth truthers may be like, I don't like Sammy Hagar, but this song's okay. Maybe, had that little, that je ne sais quoi, that's probably the Jump riff that you're hearing. So that's what it is. So that's pretty much it, guys. That is the end of this album. I know I kind of complained about some songs, but the fact that the good songs are really good. So that's pretty much the album. I know there was a few I kind of complained about, but some of the songs were so good, or most of the songs were so good. There was only a couple that were like, it's pretty okay, and then one, the Pleasure Dome, that I just didn't really like much at all. But there's so much energy and so much attitude on this album. I mean, I love listening to it. I just think it was some of their best work that they don't get credit for. But anyway, that's it. That's what I think. So for Unlawful Carnal Knowledge is my number 5 album. So we only have 4 albums left, just 4, only 4 left. So don't forget to subscribe and then comment in the comment section on this video, on all the other Van Halen videos, who you think the number 1 album is going to be. Don't forget, all entries are going to be permitted in the giveaway, and but only 1 per video. Okay, just 1 per video. But don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget about my Instagram account. I put some information over there, and also my Facebook account. Subscribe, ring the bell, share. I mean, all the things that you can do, to see anything that you could do to help out the channel, I would appreciate it. And that's it. So that was super fun. I hope you had fun as well, and I will see you guys next time.